What's up, everybody? May 5th, post New York session analysis. So, definitely had a big drop today. All of the push up that occurred after news yesterday was completely wiped out, and market is still um, with the bearish sentiment intact. I kind of figured that much just because of the fact that even though Daddy J. Powell had all sorts of comments regarding the strength of the current economic situation, I think the market can kind of gauge what actually is the current situation. So, with that being said, I think we're kind of just continuing where we left off prior to that flash in the pan. Dog and pony show, for lack of a better term. Just disguising basically the fact that they had to raise interest rates the most that they have had to since the year 2000, over 20 years. They tried to dress that up in a way that didn't, make it sound as bad as it really is, which obviously instead of making the market shoot up initially, it would have made the market shoot down. I think the market, I hate to say it, is probably going to still be on the downward trend. And yesterday's push up was kind of just that. It was just dolling up a story in light of what the real situation is. So with that being said, we had this. That's the fundamental side, in my opinion, or my outlook on the fundamental side. Now, on the technical side, we see, obviously it's very clear what happened. It just shot all the way back down. Now we're gonna go revisit the larger time frame, see what we see. So, as you may recall, previous video and the one before it, with that push up yesterday, this was starting to fill up, and this is the monthly zooming all the way out, but this was obviously starting to fill up. We're still very early on, needless to say, but just looking at it from the top perspective down. On the weekly, again, this was pushing up. Now, the weekly only has obviously about a day left or so. This was looking like a big engulfing as of this morning, posted in Y session, obviously. Excuse me, I just had a little snack and I got a little bit of a situation there. So, but now as we see, I think definitely the Bears are still here to play and have pushed this all the way down. So, this might close a little bit bullish. It might close very bearish. If it closes anywhere around here, that's extremely weak, which would indicate that it would continue to drop. So we'll see. But, as of right now, this is where we are the weekly. And then going down onto the daily, huge engulfing. It's going to close. It looks like 15 minutes left in the day. It looks like it's going to close with a bit of a wick there. But I think that will kind of just trigger off what's going to happen now in the Asian session. So now jumping down to the H4, obviously this same wick on that larger time frame just expanded out a little bit on the H4. So what I think personally is going to happen in Asian session, kind of like it usually does, I think it's kind of just going to hang out in here for a bit, I think, personally. And we're going to retest, I think, this level and continue shooting down. I don't think we're going to shoot up much. I mean, if we do, I'm not really getting into buys because of all the reasons I've stated. So I'm still going to be looking for sells. So me personally, I'm going to be looking for, see what happens Asian, early London. And then I'm going to try to get in maybe somewhere around here if possible. Go down to lower time frames here. Do one of these moves, again, try to target one of these moves like here, something like that, something like this that I was targeting earlier in the week. So I think that, the fact that price pushed up so much, retested these levels here of resistance, and then just shot all the way back down, didn't even respect this zone at all. I just shot through this zone, which is a previous level here of resistance that would have turned support. Didn't respect that support whatsoever. Just shot all the way down, all the way until this weekly level here at 32,900, roughly 32,800. I'm gonna say anywhere from 32. I'll say really from about 32,800 to 32,900 roughly. Once it hit that, the market just ran out of gas and just kind of like pushed up, and now it's been hovering there for the last few hours. So with that, I think that we can anticipate kind of just some range in here, And me personally, what I'm going to be looking for is for a move back up into this zone around this daily support resistance level to then get back in on a sell, looking for signs of exhaustion, big wicks, possibly retesting this MA as a static resistance as well. And, retarget these previous lows here, retarget this low, retarget this low, and so forth. So I think definitely we are still looking bearish. I'm not going to be looking for any buy orders still. Short-term opportunities, there might be some, but I'm not interested in that. I'm looking for something that's a little bit of a bigger move that'll play out over a few hours. So we'll see. We'll see what happens between Asian session and early London session, and I will catch you guys before New York session tomorrow morning. Have a good night.